The experience of thinking you know where you are is happening to folks all the time. But that's because we live in a society that skates over discomfort or judges it so quickly that we want distance from the judging. So we don't really take ownership of the experience. But if we don't take ownership and we just ignore it, doesn't mean it is gone. It's in there. And if it's taking up space, it's having some level of impact. And what we want to do is to be congruent with ourselves. We want to know where we are so that we can make choices. But knowing where we are lets the deepest part of ourselves trust that we're in good hands. And how often are we going off the rails in some automatic default way? Every single emotional experience is your rabbit hole of awakening and moving you into a deeper, more congruent place. Because there is so much that we are discovering about who we are and what showing up authentically looks like. On the surface, things look one way, and yet when you acknowledge and allow yourself that deeper relationship, things open up and you discover. You want to discover those things because, again, they are in there. The stress of the workload, the guilt, all of that is in there. And we are taught to just push through. And pushing through is fine, and it has gotten us and our ancestors a long distance. But you can't ignore the fact that our emotions are present and they are a thing and they are taking up space and they are impacting how we are feeling or not feeling or not allowing ourselves to feel. And to just be aware is power. And to not have an agenda, but also from our habit of pushing through, become aware of when you have stepped into the, oh, everything is fine, strong girl habit. Being aware of that is important. Whatever is present, be aware of it, because then you can make choices around it. Non-judgmental acknowledgement of what happened and how you feel is essential in taking charge of our lives. So see it without judging yourself because of it. My absolute favorite quote is that the most important thing there is faith. And we can't get to the grandeur of its possibility through petty thinking and small ideas. And I see almost everything as a petty thought and a small idea. And so I am always looking to move beyond the petty thought and the small idea. That is my engagement with life. And when I get enrolled in the petty thoughts and the small ideas, I do all of the steps that go with inner fitness. But most things for me fall into the category a petty thought and a small idea, because the infinite self doesn't relate to any of this that way. The other is that the Dalai Lama said that he gives no mind to the things that are going on. I mentioned that in the book. And that is absolutely, it's like it's not ignoring, it's not avoiding, it's being very, very present, seeing what is, and not empowering what is with petty thinking and small ideas. Not avoiding it, dealing with it, dealing with myself in it, but not giving it mind, because mind is the thing that activates it. So even though you have shared in probably on your paper, identify now how you feel. So if I tell myself the truth without judgment, what is it? What is the truth of your feelings? What's present? What is in need of acknowledgement and possibly processing? If I tell myself the truth without judgment or analysis, list all of your feelings, like that place you default to most often when it comes to emotional experiences or encounters similar to this in any sort of, configuration. So your feelings, the feelings that you resist, and then circle the feelings that are sort of default feelings for you, just automatic. So take a moment now, and based upon everything that you've written so far, find your sticky thoughts. What I mean by sticky thoughts these are the thoughts that always run through your mind. Always, no matter what the scenario is, you always wind up coming to this thought. And if it's a specific relationship that you're dealing with or, event, then you always feel in this situation, you always think these kinds of thoughts in this situation. Like, I'm not good enough, or people are looking at me and judging me, or whatever those thoughts may be. So, again, based upon the work that you've done so far, identify in everything that you've written, or look and see if there's anything supportive in what you've written. So I've asked you to write your thoughts down around what you're experiencing. And on a scale of 1 to 10, based upon what you've written, is there anything in what you've written that is supportive? I just want to acknowledge something. That in this moment, in the rabbit hole of acknowledgement, it is okay to acknowledge the struggle with feeling okay and acknowledging that you feel okay. We're not taught that. because life is this. Life isn't this. When you are in spaces where you see the work working, you need those spaces in order to be able to apply what you're learning to the other spaces. I'm sorry is the habit of judging the very process that is needed for our wholeness. We have been taught so backwards. Okay, so you've taken a look at your feelings and your thoughts. Let's always, always, always make sure that the work is not complete until you identify what you want. Because if you leave out what you want, then you're just stuck in the other experience and you have nothing to shift to. So take a moment and identify, what do I want? If I tell myself the truth about where I am, what you have experienced, what's going on with you, what is it that you want? And make that want about you. Because you can't change other people. So what is it that you want? Be aware that there is a conditioning of some sort that makes you question if it's okay to want more. I definitely want my infinite self to be my dominant. You're in it and you're not of it. You're not judging it. You are at peace. Your peace is not disturbed by the motion of life. The importance of having a vision for what you want can help you meet where you are. It can help you challenge where you are. It can help you stop and get curious about where you are in a way that can reveal how you're holding it. And then you can make new choices. This is something that I do. I don't know if it's universal, but I believe it is, because it puts you in communication with that is bigger than you. So just ask the question. So how can I continue to grow in this life that I love? That's an open-ended question. That's not you coming up with, any ideas about what you should do. But now it's you asking your higher consciousness, that the practice number 1 of the 14 practices. I turn my life over to a force greater than me that loves me, cares for me, and responds to my heart. Just ask, how can I continue to live in a life that I so enjoy? Because imagine if we all are waking up to what it means to be aligned with ourselves. Come thrive at Phoenix Rising, February 2024. Inner Fitness community, I invite you to stay, join, and learn to turn wellness concepts into action. Living life well takes practice, y'all. So simply click the subscribe button to practice together, grow this conversation, and change the world. I can't wait to read your comments and hear how your life changes for the better. Thank you for subscribing. Let's thrive.